guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing a concealer showdown. In one corner we have got the Tarte Double Duty Beauty Shape Tape, and in the other corner we've got the Kat Von D Lock It Concealer Cream. I don't know why I just did that. But in all seriousness, you guys were asking for reviews on both of these concealers, so I thought, hey, why don't I test them both out at the same time? I'm going to do one on each half of my face. The descriptions on both of these concealers are extremely similar, so I thought they would be really fun to compare. And you guys, I had this video idea forever ago. Like at the beginning of August, I asked you guys on Snapchat if you wanted to see this, and all this time I've just been waiting for Shape Tape to come back in stock. I'm Canadian, so I can't order it from Ulta. I had to wait till it came back in stock on the Tarte website. But anyways, let's talk about these concealers and see just how similar they really are. So the Kat Von D concealer retails for $34, and then the Tarte is $29. That is in Canadian, so if you're in the US, the price difference was like $2. This was $24 and this was $26. But in the Kat Von D you get 6.5 ml of product versus Tarte you get $10. So it's cheaper and you're getting more bang for your buck with this one. However, Kat Von D definitely wins for shade range. It's available in 21 different shades, ranging all the way from a pure white to a deeper skin tone. Tarte is only available in 10 different shades. And you guys, I don't know what I was doing. I thought I was ordering the Tarte one that has more of like a neutral yellow undertone. I got the shade Light, but looking at it, apparently it's supposed to be more pink. And then in Kat Von D I got Light 7, which has a very warm yellow undertone. I think I was like looking at swatches and stuff and I just got confused. I think that I thought I was ordering a light neutral, which is obviously meant to have more of a neutral undertone. So that's what happens when products are an Ulta exclusive and you're Canadian and you have to order online. But honestly, people get so ridiculously up in arms about like foundation shades not matching and stuff like that. So if for some reason the fact that my concealers are going to be different shades is going to like offend you or piss you off, then you can click off this video. I know that sounds crazy, but people get like freaked out over it. Like, it's makeup. I don't care if it doesn't match for the day. It's going to wash off at the end of the day. They both come in a similar wand style packaging. However, the doe foot applicator on the Tarte Shape Tape is massive, and then the Kat Von D is a lot more like tapered and comes to a nice sleek kind of point. And also, I think it's worth mentioning that the Tarte does have a scent. It is a rose scent, just like the Double Duty Beauty foundation. It's kind of citrusy as well though. And finally, before we start applying them, I'm just going to read you some of the key points and claims for these so you can see just how similar they sound. I'm just reading off my phone, but the Kat Von D says it is rich and creamy with 24-hour wear and instant full coverage. It's versatile because it brightens your eye area, covers blemishes, corrects discoloration, and you can use it to contour and bake, which I was like, what? And it also says it is crease proof and hydrating. For Tarte, it says it is a creamy concealer with natural and radiant coverage. It instantly brightens, covers acne, dark circles, and redness, and it's also suitable for highlighting and contouring. It also says it will soften the looks of pores and fine lines. It's formulated with mango and shea butter, so also hydrating once again, and it will have a crease-free application. So obviously you can see from that that these sound extremely similar. Very similar claims to kind of cover everything, be hydrating, and also be crease-proof as well. So let's go ahead and put these to the test. I'm gonna zoom you guys in. Alright, so as I'm sure you have already noticed, I look very strange because I have only applied a very thin layer of my Tarte Rainforest of the Sea foundation, and obviously I've done my brows, but I specifically tried not to build this up because I wanted to be able to test it on my hyperpigmentation and like acne spots and everything, as well as my eye area. I don't typically spot conceal my acne scars, but I know a lot of you guys will be curious how it works for that purpose, so I just wanted to make this review as thorough as possible. So we're going to do the Tarte Shape Tape on the right half of my face. I'm just going to start by kind of swiping this on my under eye and just using it on my kind of blemishes on this side of my face. Just got like a lot of pigmentation showing through here, so I'm just gonna kind of dot it on. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start blending this out with the Beauty Blender and see how it goes. I'm hoping once I get both of them blended out that it's going to end up looking okay. The Kat Von D is definitely very yellow though. Alright, so that blended out quite effortlessly and smoothly. I feel like it did kind of help minimize my pores in this area. It didn't quite give me as much coverage as I would like, to be honest, so I'm gonna see if I can build it up a little bit. Like, you can still see like my veins showing through and things like that, but it really melted it into the skin nicely and had no issues blending it out. So I'm just gonna add like a couple more dots of this. So it built up well. Honestly though, from the way people have been describing this, I thought it was going to give even more coverage. Like, I thought it'd be like instantly blanking out everything. It is providing a really good amount of coverage. It's just not as like kind of erasing as I expected it to be, if that makes sense. One thing I'm noticing is as I'm blending it out, I feel like it really like locks into place. It feels like it is going to stay on for a very long time. So I'm going to do my other eye area and everything with the Kat Von D concealer, and I'm just flipping around my beauty blender and using the clean side of it. So I'm gonna use the same amount. You can see this is like really, really yellow. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start blending this side out. Okay, so right off the bat, this one was a lot harder to spread around with the Beauty Blender, and I feel like it's got less coverage than the other one. You can definitely see my blue veins showing through here, and it's also, I feel, accentuating texture a little bit more. It's definitely thinner in consistency than the Tarte one, but the Tarte is very thick. But I'm going to add a little bit more of this concealer. I feel like definitely I need more product with this one. Okay, this really is not blending out well with the Beauty Blender at all. I feel like the Beauty Blender is picking up and absorbing too much of the product and just not spreading it around adequately. I really want to try doing a little bit with my finger just in this area where my redness is still showing through, but I don't want to overdo it. I'm just going to do like the tiniest little dab of product. Using my finger definitely helped build up the coverage a lot better than the Beauty Blender, and it just felt a lot more natural and just like a better fit, to be honest. So if you love applying concealer with the Beauty Blender like I do, might not enjoy that too much. Okay, so I've been debating on what to do for this because I like to also conceal down the center of my face. One thing I think that will be difficult if you like to do like a highlight on your nose is how large this applicator is. It's going to be really hard to get a nice precise line. So I was like, what do? Do I split it down the middle on my nose and try each? But what I decided to do is I'm going to use Kat Von D on my nose and my forehead, and then I'm going to use Tarte on my Cupid's bow and then my chin because I do have a little like scab here. So for Tarte, it's definitely more forgiving for texture. It hasn't like completely blurred my pores or anything, but it definitely looks a little bit smoother in this area of my face. This one I feel like you can definitely see the texture a bit more, and as you can see it's getting very creasy on my eyelids. I'm also going to do like a little creasing kind of test and like wait 10 minutes in a second. Literally everything creases on me because I do have fairly deep set eyes and I do have quite prominent lines under each one of my eyes here. So far Tarte is doing better for not creasing, but I expect everything to crease at least a little bit on me, so I'm not terribly mad or anything. I think overall this side looks a little bit brighter, but I think that's also partially because it is a little bit more yellow, but at the same time I feel like Tarte has slightly better coverage. I don't know how different the tones are gonna look on camera, but in person it's a very subtle difference. Like I can definitely go out in public and it's not going to look totally crazy. But I think I'm gonna go ahead, just sit here for like 10 minutes or so and just see how much they crease. I know pretty much all of us set our under eyes. I do every single day, but for those of you who don't, and to just really put these products to the test, I want to see how they do without setting them, and then I'll be setting them after. Okay, so I have let these set and settle because I've definitely got some creasing going on. On my lids, you can see the Kat Von D is horribly creased. The Tarte is pretty bad as well, but this one is really bad. It's really gathering in the crease of my eye. Now that is not really that big of a deal to me, to be honest, because I always put on eyeshadow primer after, it gets smoothed out and redistributed, and then I don't have that problem afterwards. What I do care about is these lines under here. I'm gonna zoom you guys in like really close. So looking at the two sides, we can clearly see that Tarte is the winner. Like I said, everything creases in these lines a little bit, but usually it's not so apparent when my eye is just natural like this. Like when I pull down my eye, you can always see a little bit of creasing no matter what. But like this one, it really did not crease that much at all down here. This one, on the other hand, major creasing, definitely. This one is really just like glopping into those lines and just setting up camp there. So in a second I'm going to kind of blend out the crease product and set my eyes with the RCMA No Color Powder, and then we will see that throughout the day if they even continue to crease after being set. We will test that as well. So I set both of these with a generous amount of powder and they're definitely looking better. To be honest, at this moment I'm not really loving either of them. I'm definitely preferring the Tarte side though if I have to pick. This one just looks a little bit more dry. It's not covering as well, and once again it was creasing like crazy. So I don't know, I'm gonna have to see how these wear throughout the day, of course. I'm going to be just doing one check-in at the very end of the day before I wash my face. They're both just looking a little bit cakey and a little bit off even before I powdered them. I will check in with you guys and give you my final verdict at the end of the day. Okay, I figured I should also just quickly show you guys what it's looking like with a fresh full face of makeup. They're definitely looking a lot better now. Everything pretty much does once you've actually like completed your makeup. And I just wanted to say that my other products applied nicely over top of them. Like when it came to like blending up my bronzer and my contour and everything, they really stayed in place. The one exception is right here when I was applying my blush and highlight, a little bit more redness was uncovered here with the Kat Von D. Yeah, I just wanted to update on that quickly, and once again I'll talk to you guys at the end of the day. It is the end of the day now, so I've had these concealers on for about 9.5 hours roughly. My lips are peeling and really gross. Just because of Accutane, ignore that. For me, Tarte Shape Tape is the definite winner. They both held up perfectly well. Like, they haven't really changed or like worn off or anything like that. But I feel like my under eyes both look quite dry, and they are kind of drawing attention to the lines under my eyes for that reason. Though neither of them actually did end up creasing anymore after I had set them, which is nice. The Kat Von D concealer didn't blend out as well. In my opinion, it didn't have as good of coverage. It creased like crazy before powdering it. Overall though, I think this does look a little bit brighter, but once again, I think that's just because of the shade difference. Like this side's a little bit more illuminated and this side is a little bit more natural. The Tarte Shape Tape blended out really nice with the Beauty Blender. It had good coverage, but honestly just not as much as I was expecting. I feel like everyone has been hyping up the coverage of this so much. Maybe my expectations were just set a little bit too high. It was pretty crease proof underneath my eye. Like I said, everything creases on me a little bit, but this did pretty much the best a concealer can do. And it is nice and smoothing for my pores in this kind of area. And also, ironically, it does lock into place and set a little bit better than the Kat Von D. I think the Kat Von D Lock It Concealer Cream would definitely be a better concealer for spot concealing, and then Tarte would be better for eye area and also down the center of the face kind of highlighting purposes, which personally that's the only thing I actually use concealer for. Once again, I am saying Tarte Shape Tape is the winner and the one I would recommend if you are looking to try either of these. I think this is a good product, but I feel like it could work a little bit better for me. So right now I'm still leaning towards like NARS or Urban Decay or Too Faced or one of those products instead, but I'm going to continue trying this. I'm going to still test out both of them, and I'll probably do an update maybe like in my October favorites or something after I've had them for a bit longer. I'm kind of leaning towards potentially returning the Kat Von D one, but I still want to test it out a little bit more just in case it was just like an off day or something like that. I just didn't really love it in the eye area, and I just don't spot conceal on acne. All my foundations give me like a perfect level of coverage. But anyways, that is going to be it for today's video. Check the description bar down below for links to both of these concealers. I will also link my foundation reviews for the corresponding foundations for each of these, because I have reviewed the Kat Von D Lock It Foundation and then the Tarte Double Duty Beauty Empowered Hybrid Gel Foundation as well. So those will be linked down below in case you are curious. Go follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. I'm at SariReanna on all three. And give this video a thumbs up if you like this. If you want to see more concealer first impressions or like product battles, let me know. And hit subscribe down below too if you haven't already, but I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye guys!